to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Mohlland. Almost made it to the weekend, so very good. Hang in there. Thursday, always fun. And it's always fun to talk to a musician on a Thursday. Big music night, right? Thursday, you go to dinner. Thursday, I think, is like the biggest going out night of the week when it comes to like dinner and seeing live music. I don't know what that is. It's a payday for some people. I'm not sure why, but that's what they say. John Bousquet in the house. How are you, man? First time.
I'm doing pretty well.
Good.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, right? We're just talking off the air. You do not have a gig tonight, so this is we're not promoting anything today.
It's a night off.
It's a night off. Is that rare for you these days, or?
Yeah, it's pretty rare. I'm trying to make more of them happen.
There you go. Yeah. You're trying to a little me time.
Yeah.
So what's you're a what do you play? First of all, I'll let you tell everybody.
So I'm a saxophone player, and composer.
And a composer.
And a composer. It sounds a lot more impressive than it actually is.
Oh, I think it's impressive. That's very cool. So you were, I think we were just talking again off the air that I think Alex Anthony put me in touch with you, a musician who we've had on here plenty of times. And you actually went down south and played with them in Florida, right?
Yeah, we did a week down in the Key West.
The pictures looked fun.
Yeah, they were half as fun as the time actually was.
Really, that's great. How much? What's the story of it down there? Is it just warm weather and just people are escaping, or what?
It's as much fun as you want to have.
How many nights were you guys playing? Like every night?
Yeah, we did 7 nights there.
Did you literally go down for like a week trip and played 7 nights?
Yep. Yeah.
Gonna earn your keep?
Yeah. So it was good. They put us up for the week. We played the Hog's Breath Saloon. Shout out Hog's Breath Saloon.
All right.
Yeah, really nice people there.
Cool. What's the so that must be a pretty cool thing about being a saxophone player is I don't know, I mean, I'm sure you have your regular groups that you've been a part of over the years, but I would assume you get kind of just called on and cherry picked a lot to come on, play with us tonight, or that sort of thing, right? Yeah,
it's a real I've been in a really fortunate position where I can kind of jump in with a lot of different bands and get to play a lot of different music, meet a lot of people. Yep. Which is always really what's kind of the nice little pocket for you as far as music goes? Is there a certain genre, or? I would say anything where I get to improvise.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
a little freedom.
A little freedom. But I'm a team player, so I'm down for the cause.
There you go. What's the weirdest kind of group that you've been called on? Like, really? You sure you want me?
The weirdest group.
Or like the weirdest style, you know?
Weirdest style. I played with a steel pan player for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It's me, steel pan. Well, I'm not doing it anymore. So.
I guess not. Well, that's not always the case. You can go a separate, nice parting of ways, but okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What's the, so I know, is it mostly local musicians that you kind of tie in with?
Yeah, mostly local stuff. Sometimes I do a little bit of traveling, some national acts every once in a while if they come through, if they need someone. I got to play with Tall Heights at the 92.5 the River Fest over the summer, so that was like a one-off thing. That was good.
So you're kind of like a sessions guy too. People come in from out of town and they say, "Give me a good sax player," and they point to you.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That's all right. Yeah. Well, that'll work for you. What's the is it anything you're ever like caught off guard by, or do you just kind of you get the ear for it when some band starts going, you go, I'll follow. That sort of thing.
I thrive in the unknown. So the less I know and just dropped into a situation, I usually that's where I have the most fun.
What made you pick up the saxophone?
I picked it up like most kids do in 4th grade when they have you pick an instrument. Okay. And it just looked like the cool one. Yeah. And I just kind of stuck with it. I guess I wasn't inclined or smart enough to do a sport or something. I don't know. You
got lucky then. You picked the saxophone. You ended up loving the saxophone.
Yeah, yeah.
That's because that's the thing in like 4th grade, right? Well, kind of if it doesn't come easily, which I think for most kids it's kind of work, right?
Yeah.
If it doesn't come easily, it can be pretty discouraging.
It can.
Get this away from me.
You got to really find the right instrument to pair yourself with it.
I feel like most kids go drums.
Most kids go drums. Trumpet's a big one.
Yeah. I don't even remember saxophone being offered.
Yeah, it's just there.
I remember we had to do what do we have to do? We had to do the recorder.
Yeah, everybody does the recorder.
Is that still the case? Everybody does it?
Yeah, that's usually the case.
Mary Had a Little Lamb. I think I could still play that.
All the classics.
All the classics. Yeah. You know, it was actually my first ever performance was in my one of my elementary school's classes, and we had to play. I remember the teacher saying, the weird things you remember, right? I remember the teacher saying, if you stand up today on day one, everybody's gonna have to play something at some point. But if you stand up on day one, you can play anything you want, easier ones or whatever. So I jumped on that opportunity, and I think I played Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yeah, and how'd it come out? It was good.
Oh, sure, it was stellar. Yeah, it had to be, right? No, I don't. We weren't being graded on it, but we just had to get up there and do it. I think it was more a stage fright thing. Get up and do it. So, how about that? First of all, I mean, you must play in front of all sorts of different audiences. Do you prefer like the bar, or do you like the bigger crowds, or?
The bigger crowds are fun just because you're getting a lot of energy back, so you don't have to really. It kind of the music kind of makes itself.
Yep.
But sometimes small intimate crowds where people are really listening. It's interesting with so many diverse bands that I play with. You get all different kinds of crowds. Where you get the people who don't even notice you're there. You get the people that are just out to have a good time and dance and aren't really like super meticulous about the musicianship happening. And then you get the people that you play in like clubs where it's sit down and they're taking notes and judging in their heads.
Do you like the idea of being in like a groove with the whole band and just kind of finding your spot, or do you like that stand-up solo, like where it's spotlight on you?
I'm always kind of jealous of the rhythm section players because they get to go right in the groove in the pocket, and they're playing with other people and off of other people.
Yep.
So I think that's where the nature of the instrument, and I inevitably end up being the solo guy, and that's fun. But I would rather. I guess if there was like a sports analogy, I'd want to be the point guard and not the guy throwing down the tomahawk jam,
Right. And you said you like feeding off the audience, but I mean, whenever you think of that, you think of like lead singers, front men, getting the crowd involved, sing back, maybe it comes back at you a little bit. Saxophone, you don't necessarily feel that, right? You're kind of focused in on your solo, but it's not like people are, usually it's a part where there's no singing or something, right? So you're not necessarily getting that, but you still feel it?
Yeah, there's something about the saxophone I
would agree. Yeah.
It is that people really respond to. I still don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's the range of, if we're going to get technical, the range is actually the same as the male voice, the average male voice. So I guess that it has a vocal quality to it.
Okay.
But a lot of it speaks to intoxicated people and middle-aged women.
Okay, you found the intoxicated people are big fans. Very good.
My demographic.
That's right. I get Jonathan Bousquet joining us here on Shop Afternoon Drive, local saxophone player around. Are you from Newburyport or?
I'm actually from Methuen.
Methuen.
Yeah, I moved to Newburyport about 3 years ago.
Okay, cool. Did you play a lot in Methuen too?
No,
never.
No.
Newburyport is a cool live music place, right? There seems to be a lot of gigs around here.
It is. There's stuff happening.
Yeah. Not every city in town is like that around here.
No, Methuen, I think, besides my bedroom, I don't think there was any
Only
other
time you played?
Yeah. I think the only thing I did in Methuen was leave.
Florida's going to be a little different, right? I would think the warm weather is a little bit more conducive to
Florida. Down in the Keys, you can play
everywhere.
You can play 3 times a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah. Always looking for live music.
It's like a cruise ship, but on land.
A cruise ship on land, yes. The Florida Keys. There you go. Should make a T-shirt that
I don't work for the...
But you should still make a T-shirt. I think that's a good one. When did you get back, you said?
I got back January 13th, around there.
So I think he's still down there, right, Alex?
Yeah. Yep.
So those guys, they know how to play it, right? They get away from the tough winter months. When you jump in, is it kind of like, I'm sure they got a following down there? Is it kind of like, oh, new guy? All right, let's see what he's added to the band here.
Yeah. Even up here when I play with them, it's kind of they have a saxophone player usually.
Yep.
But they tossed me in the mix and. It's good.
Yeah.
They have a good thing going. I got to do a little singing too, which I usually don't get to do.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
There you go. What's besides the Alex Anthony band? Who else do you play with kind of regularly?
Right now, I play with Crew to Groove out of Beverly pretty regularly.
Another good music town there.
Yep. Over the Bridge out of Gloucester, I play with them pretty regularly, and then I have my own thing, Tiny Circus, happening. So
what's that consist of?
That is drums, bass, saxophone. Keyboards and guitar.
Okay.
And myself.
Who are the favorite sax influences over the years?
Favorite sax influences over the years. There's a lot of go-tos. It's just Coltrane.
Yep.
That's like everybody's go-to. I usually kind of stray to the fringes of the saxophone world.
Yep.
I do like some Wayne Shorter. Wayne Shorter's good.
What's the how about like is there a solo that like you heard that solo and you were like, gotta play that. That is the best solo I've heard. I need to hear that one. I need to be able to play that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
A million of them.
Yeah, I'm always listening and writing down solos. So
yeah,
there's a lot of them.
What's the think about that one? I'm gonna want an answer on that one. But
okay,
you know what my favorite one is? Pretty popular.
What's your favorite solo?
I'm gonna go with Jungle Land, Clarence Clemens. You know it?
I don't.
Oh, check that one out.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's off Born to Run. It's one of the.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, that's the one with the album cover is, you know, you got Springsteen and Clarence Clemens, and at the Jungle Land it's pretty epic. Actually, funny story, not funny, well, cool story. His Clarence, of course, has passed away. His nephew, sax player, is now in the band, and I remember being at a show, and it was like the first time they had played Jungle Land since Clarence died, and I thought that was kind of cool. The nephew was able to step in and take it over.
Runs in the family?
Apparently, yeah. I was thinking they weren't ever going to play it again, but I don't know. It's, as long as it's in the family, I guess it can be done.
Yeah.
Who's the... all right, so this is a question. Musicians, I think they actually kind of like that. I usually get some pretty good responses on this, but initially I don't think they usually like this question. But everybody has that like horrible crowd, right? Horrible live music experience. What is it for you?
Horrible live music experience. I think my go-to, I was about 19. I was just out of college. I was playing in bars that I wasn't really supposed to be.
Oh.
And I'm not going to name any names, but the lead singer of our band got into a little altercation.
Oh.
And we were all... He was not a college-aged individual. We all were. We were all young kids.
Yeah.
And it got a little physical out on the dance floor. So we all started kind of stopping playing.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And mid-swing, he looked back at us and in a very eloquently expletive-laced way told us to keep playing while he proceeded to pummel this guy on the dance floor.
Wow.
So we provided the soundtrack to that rumble. That's a memorable one.
There you go.
I think I was hooked after that.
Hooked on music?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So yeah, I'm telling you, it gets great responses. And was that also a lesson? Never stop playing?
I think it was a lesson in the unknown.
Okay.
Yeah, that anything can happen.
And might I ask why the brawl started? Bad fan, old rivalry. What was it?
I think the one of the combatants wanted us to actually stop playing so he could use the jukebox.
Oh yeah. People who are up there playing live don't usually like that.
Yeah, his favorite song, I guess, wasn't in our repertoire. So, and he gave our lead singer $100 to stop.
Really?
And then the jukebox didn't have his song.
I have so much.
So we wanted his $100 back, and by that time, the $100 was already in his pocket. So.
I have so much respect for that lead singer now. I think that's the only thing that can happen to that guy. I'm just kidding, kids. Fighting is
Peace.
not. Fighting is not. It's frowned upon. Jonathan Bousquet joining us here on Jump Afternoon Drive, sax player around town here. Did you hear about those explosions last night? Did you hear me talking about that?
I did.
That was interesting, huh?
Yeah.
You don't live near there, do you?
No.
No. Lily, do you live there?
Where?
I don't know. You didn't hear explosions?
No, I did not.
No, okay. Everybody's fine. But
Yeah.
it was an interesting night here in Newburyport. Actually, would have been right after. You guys worked some crazy hours there as musicians. You told me you took a nap here right before the show.
Yeah.
Right? Is that like a usual thing?
I'm pro snacks and naps.
Hey, I'm with you.
They keep me going.
Absolutely. What's like the normal? What is it? 9 to 12?
Yeah, usually 9 to 12.
Do you prefer getting out there at like 6 p.m. doing something?
Getting to the gig at 6?
Yeah. Do you prefer like a 6 to 9? Like, some places do that. You do.
6 to 9.
Yeah. 9 to 12. It can be rough, right?
You'd think that like, I'm like a homebody. So
yeah.
It goes counter to my chosen profession.
Oh, past nothing good happen after midnight?
Yeah. So I'm like, get me home.
Yeah.
Get me.
You must be used to it by now, though.
Yeah. It's I've been doing it for long enough that I'm used to the hours. But if I have a night off, you won't find me out.
Oh, okay. When did it hit you that one time that you know what, I can make a living on this, I think?
I'm still waiting for that.
Well,
it's been working, but
I mean, you're getting
you can't take.
I mean, you're getting paid to play. That's what people are.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Not everybody has that luxury.
Yeah, getting paid to play is nice.
Yeah. Some people get paid not to play.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
but no, it's a certain talent to get paid at the level that you guys do, play so regularly. Did it strike you in high school that I'm really good before that, or?
I don't know. I guess I never really thought about that.
Never thought about that one.
No. It's
always been a part of you. 4th grade.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have been getting some lunch money in 4th grade.
That's right. Did you bring CDs, by the way?
I did bring CDs.
Yo, you gotta tell me that one. Send those over here. Look at that. Show on the fly. This is good. I'll pop one of these babies right in. Ooh, nice artwork. What is that?
That's
this is freshly.
Wire by Ryan.
I'm gonna
open
my
this
plug. Baby right up if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Here, Lily, can you help me out with that?
Yeah, we did that one.
I can't open.
That's all original stuff. We did that last year. We did it. We released it at Riverwalk Company.
Yeah.
So those are all.
The breweries do. I mean, I feel like we kind of talk about them a lot, and I don't mean to do that first other businesses, but I will say when it comes to live music, the breweries are pretty good about.
Yeah.
Really open
themselves
up.
Drew, you got to tell me. Right? Are you a Newburyport brewing guy or a Riverwalk brewing guy?
Oh yeah, you're gonna make me see that. Yeah, I will not answer that.
Oh, come on.
Sure they have both been on the show. Both owners or GMs or whatever they are, and they're both lovely guys. Equal on both of them.
Shout out to the breweries.
There you go. As long as you shout out to them both, I'm good. But I do like the idea. No TVs, right? It's all about the music, which is good.
Yeah, they've been good to us over the years. So.
And it's kind of that would be brewers, of course, would be considered a smaller crowd.
Yeah,
but that can be nice too at those atmospheres. What's the biggest crowd you ever played?
Biggest crowd, Riverfest was pretty big. There was a couple thousand people.
That was the radio one.
Yeah, that was the 92.5 River. Played with Tall Heights. Shout out Tall Heights. That was a big one. Played Hookfest a couple years ago. Opened up for Lettuce.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was a big one.
I have a cousin who was always really into lettuce. What's this? This is a season for everything.
Yeah.
All right. Sequesterer. What do we got? Tell me a little bit about that one. I'll try to get that one on first here.
Sequesterer?
Yeah.
That's our bass player, one of my best friends from college who's in the band, Devin Hurt. It's one of his originals. Just really pleasant music. That
I'll weave this in a second here. Since I just happened to catch the CDs over there. This is good. You're probably just giving them to us as a gift. We're going to play them.
I was trying to hawk them, but.
Here we go. Do that. Sound about right there?
Yeah, sounds good.
How about that? Talk over a little bit. So how old is this song?
This is about a year old.
Okay. And this album came out when?
Last year. Last June.
A season for everything. Let's see if we can get a good view. There we go. In focus. Lovely. Who did the artwork?
That's Ryan Kelly, Wire by Ryan.
All right. Rock and tree.
Yeah.
Simple.
Going for the minimalist look.
I'll turn it up a little bit. You like this one? Did I pick a good one?
Yeah, I think I kind of like them all.
There you are. How long did this take to put together? 5 songs here. I see this album.
5 songs. Yeah, this one took. It started out as a favor from my friend who was building a studio, and he kind of needed some guinea pigs to come in and see how everything worked.
So this isn't a big project here. This
was just kind of thrown together and decided to send it to master and mix and.
How many instruments are we talking there?
This is saxophone, bass, drums, and keyboards. And it was all done live, so there's no overdubs. There's just the 4 of us in the studio.
One take?
Well, we did a couple takes.
Yeah. All right, really silly question. I feel like I would be a nervous who's the guy that screws up the note and then has to start all over?
Oh, it's
it's a common thing.
Yeah, this new one that we did. So this was kind of like the just my best friends from college. I really enjoy making music with.
Yeah.
We put this together.
This one.
That's this one. Yeah.
Okay.
So then we added a guitar player for the next one that's coming out in May. and we didn't have a band name, so it's just A Season for Everything is the name of the album. But the band name's going to be Tiny Circus going forward. So we have a 13-song album.
Tiny Circus or Tiny Circus going forward?
Tiny Circus.
Okay, yeah.
Pause.
Going forward, it'll be Tiny Circus. Excellent.
Yeah, but we got a 13-song album coming out.
Wow.
In May. So that was a much bigger production. Same team, same studio.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What do we call this one?
This is Nota Bene.
Who's this? Who's speaking?
This is Pharoah Sanders.
Oh. When did you know you were going to play on this album?
When did I know?
The night before?
No. I had a
little more notice.
Bit. Yeah, I had just kind of like sketches for the tunes. I didn't really like. They weren't really fleshed out, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
So I just came in with little pieces of each tune, and we kind of workshopped them, and then ran them. And then once we figured we had a tune, we just hit record and did a couple takes.
Nice.
It was very it was as unplanned as you could be.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
As a sax player, you said you like that freedom. How do you know when to like scale it back and when to kind of go for it?
I kind of feed off everyone I'm playing with.
Yeah.
I like to think that like the best ideas that I have come from everyone else. So I'm like, there's definitely like instrumentalists and saxophone players out there that just have all the ideas and they're just throwing them and all the technique, and they can do all that. But I really try to like respond to what's happening and play what I think is going to make the entire band sound the best.
Is there like one, like they say, like a lot of live bands, the drummer leads the way, or, you gotta have a good drummer, maybe the bass player. Is there like one guy that the sax, like you're always kind of watching, the bass player, the drummer, or does the sax not really have to rely on?
It's kind of like everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm always trying to listen to everyone individually and then listen how they're all working together.
Yeah.
Just trying to listen to everything all the time.
Yeah, I'll pull this up again for a second. There you are. What's the is it tough to not win a crowd over? Like a lot of times when you play this kind of music, you kind of, it's going to be a lot of listening, right? It's not so much sometimes it's going to be a sit down crowd and not necessarily dancing. Is that, it's going to be like a different mentality than going and playing like a rock show, if you're sitting in with a rock band, people are going to be jumping all night around and dancing. It's going to be a little bit different mentality when people are going to be sipping whiskey and smoking a cigar and just kind of sitting back, right?
Yeah. It can be a little different.
Yeah. Do you go in with a different mindset though? Like, all right, anything change for you, or is it just kind of the same routine?
No, it definitely changes.
Yeah.
Every situation is different.
Yeah.
If I go into like a bar scene where everyone's partying and I'm definitely going to play more, I don't know, fun. I'm not going to be as, I guess, thinking about, I don't know, I'm going to be a little less introspective that night.
Yeah.
But if there's a listening crowd there, I'm definitely going to try to, they came out for a reason.
Details.
So they came out to come away with something from the music. So I'm definitely going to try to make that happen.
Yeah.
Where, if people are just out trying to have a good time, they can't really be bothered with, so
no need to fret over a missed note.
Just trying to serve the people.
There you go. And you probably pretty much know by the venue you're going to too, right? I mean, sometimes you go to a spot and you say, you know what, that's going to be a night where we...
Yeah. I know, I play at Chianti.
I was just going to bring that up.
In Beverly.
Beverly, yeah.
And I know when I go there, that's one of the venues where I go there where I know, I gotta warm up. I gotta be on my A game because people are going there to get something.
That room always comes up too. That's a great room to play. I always tell the story. There was at the Cabot there one night. There was some big act, and like all the backup singers came over.
Oh yeah.
And after their show and came in, you could tell they were having so much more fun listening to the Chianti music. Than they were playing their own. You know.
Yeah. Shout out Rich at Chianti.
Oh, okay. There you go. Good food over there too. But what's your favorite live? Is it Newburyport? What's your favorite live music city around here?
I like Newburyport. Yeah. Usually I can walk to the gigs.
It's a good thing to say on a Newburyport radio station, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
This is Magic 8 Ball here.
Yep.
Let's see. So who produced this? Is this one of your college buddies producing this? Or do you guys all kind of do it?
That's my buddy Jake Pardee over at Maritime Music Studio in Peabody.
Oh, okay.
He recorded it and we kind of produced it together, and then Bradley Royds in Gloucester did the mix and the master for it.
Okay.
So that's like our go-to team.
Gotcha. All right. All right, you ready for some rapid fire here, John?
Rapid fire, hit me.
All right. You're not supposed to think about these answers. Keep the music up a little bit in the background.
No thought.
You're not supposed to. I have no way to penalize you if you do, but
okay.
All right. Favorite sport?
Basketball.
Favorite song?
I know this. Hotel California.
Oh, Eagles.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that for you. You gave me a lot of rare sax players. I wasn't thinking you'd go with one of the bigger pop bands. No, rock band. Rock pop, right? I don't know. Rock. They're rock band.
Hotel California.
I have nothing against the Eagles. I just Eagles are weird for me. See, I went through a phase where I loved the Eagles, and I still obviously like them, but there's just some of it bores me.
Eagles are one of those bands that you hear all their songs, and there's a lot of songs that you didn't know was the Eagles.
True. Yeah. That's true.
Like you know the song. But you didn't know it was the Eagles.
They have massive hits, and that's the other thing too. I think they're in your face so much. I mean, they have so many songs. It can be easy. Hotel California is a great song. Excellent choice.
It is.
I don't mean to derail your rapid fire here. Favorite album?
Favorite album? Miles Davis, Live in Berlin.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Favorite class in school?
History.
History. Why is that?
I just like history.
History buff?
Yeah.
Favorite teacher? Was that the history teacher?
No, it wasn't the history teacher. I didn't go to very many classes. I made it to history class.
Made it to history. All right. Who is your favorite teacher?
My favorite teacher?
Yeah. Can be music, can be school. Name drop.
Name drop?
Yeah.
I took 2 lessons with a saxophone player, George Garzone, in Boston.
Okay.
And he...
what age was that?
That was out of high school. I was about 24.
Okay.
Out of college.
Yeah. High school at 24. They let you stay a while.
Yeah. I only took 2 lessons with him, and it was the best educational experience. Yeah.
And you didn't go back for a third? Is that because you...
He told me after the second that I didn't need to.
Really? Cool.
It was a very zen...
Yeah.
You have the tools, now go.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding. Very zen. That's interesting. What's the biggest thing you took out of those lessons?
How hard it is not to play.
Really? What do you mean by that?
Because when you practice, you always practice playing.
Yeah.
And music is sound and not sound.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not really a lot of method books out there that teach you how to take the horn out of your mouth for a minute.
Yeah.
So
he's talking about letting certain music breathe while on stage.
Yeah.
No one to step back, essentially.
Yeah, no one to shut up.
Yeah. Is that must be a really key thing? I can imagine.
It's so hard.
Really?
It doesn't get any easier. It's not one of those things that the more you do it, you're like, oh, I'm getting better at this.
Really?
Every single time. Yeah.
That's the hardest part about being a sax player.
I think it's the hardest part about a lot of things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Stepping back and listening. You're probably right.
Yeah. Stopping.
What's the is there a moment that hits you on stage if you're playing and you're like, you know what, I got to get out of here for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of those moments.
Yeah. I like to think about it funny. Something like a boxer, like the jab, like knowing when to jab, when to, so leave that space.
Yeah. Interesting. You never actually think about that. What do you do? Do you ever
What do I do?
No, I mean, some people I think, you see the sax person, and I mean, I've seen different variations of, I've seen some saxophone players put the saxophone down and walk away for a bit. It's all different ways of doing it, I guess.
Yeah.
Most of them, I guess, stay up there and kind of stay in the moment. But like, what are you doing when the rest of the band is playing? Are you just waiting for your moment, or are you just kind of trying to be in it?
Usually I like to just get off the stage because I feel like...
You do walk off?
Yeah. Not in like a, I'm going to go...
Run to the bar?
Go make an order, but...
I'll have a chicken palm.
Usually I like to get out of the way a little bit.
Yep.
But most of the time I'm just trying to listen. And eye contact is big.
Okay.
I like to just make sure that everyone that I'm making the music with knows that I'm there, even
Present.
when I'm not playing.
Yep. Yeah, that's good. The you play with all these, great musicians around here. I have noticed, I don't know if maybe it's always been this way.
What have you noticed, Drew?
Here, thank you. That horn players are becoming more like desired. I remember, you've been talking to Alex in here one day. I remember saying to him, now, did you ever, envision having horns? Because, he's the string player, acoustic guitar player, and he's like, never. I was a guitar guy, never once thought about horns until I played with a horn player once. And then, he ended up in the band. He's like, and then I said, I need it. And I find that story to be there a lot. Like, we never started with a saxophone. We never started with a horn section. Next thing I knew, I really, really wanted a horn section, and I couldn't go without it. You find that to be a story a lot?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think it's kind of like not a lost art, but it's definitely dying. You don't find a lot of horn players out there.
Well, it's a little bit of a luxury, right? A band can go play without a horn section.
Yeah, but the horn does. If unbiased opinion,
I would.
It does,
feel free.
It does add a lot.
That's right. Look, I completely agree. Yeah. Speaking of. This is Molly.
Yeah, it's my dog's. It's my dog's name.
Oh, okay. What kind of dog?
It's an Aruban Kanuku.
A Aruban Kanuku.
Yeah.
How about that?
It's fun to say, isn't it?
It is fun. I don't think I've ever heard of it. I'm a dog guy. I don't think I've ever heard of an Aruban Kanuku.
It's a Reuben street dog.
All right. Small?
About 40 pounds.
Oh, not too small.
Yeah.
All right. Does this song? Does Molly like this song?
I actually don't even know we've ever played it for her.
I think you need a music video with the dog in it.
Just her doing some dog stuff.
That's a video. That's a memory. So your name's on this is the credit. This is you wrote this?
Yes. Yep. Okay. Think I'm gonna let someone else write a song about my dog? Come on.
Good point. What'd the band say when you said, so I got a song here that I wrote inspired by my dog?
The band's a tough sell on song names.
Oh, really?
So you have to come in with real confident about your song name.
Much debate, the song names?
Yeah, they have... A couple of them like to name them themselves. They usually don't make it onto the actual album, the names.
So you had to fight for this one?
Yeah, I had to.
What was your argument? Give me your pitch.
It's my dog. Come on.
I'm sure it didn't end there.
Nah.
Hopefully the band's dog guys. Maybe that was all it needed.
Well, Molly is actually it's a country in Africa also.
Yes.
So
well, that's what I thought it was about.
They thought I was into some deep stuff.
Oh,
so,
yeah. So did you play it first and then say it's actually inspired by my dog?
Yeah, that was an after the fact thing.
Well, that's cool. Very nice. What's your favorite, is it playing live, recording, or like writing music? What's your favorite kind of piece of it all? You said you're a homebody. I could understand it being the writing part.
Yeah, I like the writing and the practicing. I have like a nice little daily routine that I'm big on routine. So
you try to write every day?
I try to write I practice every day.
Oh.
I put about an hour in every single day.
Yep.
And then I try to write every day or just write something down that maybe it can just be a couple notes or one chord that I like. Or
do you get like how do you get inspired by stuff like just in the? I mean, because I know if you're like writing lyrics, you know, you might see something you want to express that in words. It's a little different with music. Like what kind of gets you with music? Is it like being outside in like nature sometimes and you see something, or is it always like hearing somebody else and say, "Ooh, I could play off that a little bit. I kind of like what he's doing there."
I think the process is I listen a lot, so I'm constantly kind of putting new sounds in, and trying to expand.
Not just music sounds, like worldly sounds.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, world sounds.
Dog bark.
Yeah, everything. And then I, try to sit down and see how that comes out.
Yep.
Listen to a lot of like classical music.
Yep.
Like that.
Do you? What would be like the genre of music that's kind of, as far as like enjoyment and listening, what's kind of the part that like you wouldn't be into, but maybe like you kind of go to for like other ideas? Is it like the new kind of like the new age music, kind of the poppy stuff, or?
I really listen to everything.
You do listen to everything? Yeah.
Yeah, I give everything kind of a fair shot. A lot of the music that I make, when people listen to, they think that I listen to specific types of music when I don't. Like the
don't put me in that box.
The new album coming out, we've got like a lot of like more like trap beats and stuff.
Okay.
And I don't really listen to a lot of that.
When does that come out, by the way?
That's May, I think 21st is what we're shooting for.
Very exciting.
Yeah, we're trying to line up a nice little mini tour.
Sweet.
After the release. And
okay, we'll check that out there, folks. The
Tiny Circus.
Tiny Circus. Spring tour. I like it.
Yeah.
Make a t-shirt for that.
It's going to be an exposition, actually.
Oh.
Tiny Circus Expo.
Tiny Circus Expo.
Yeah.
How lovely. All right. Very cool. The actual playing of the saxophone. I know, like guitar
very,
playing.
Very difficult.
Impossible.
Extremely difficult.
Yeah. Is it real? Honestly, is it?
No, it's actually one of the easier instruments.
Is it really?
It's easy to get a sound out.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of back pressure.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense to me. But like playing like a guitar, you got to really toughen up the fingers. That can be the toughest thing for like beginner guitar players. It's just toughening up your fingers to, hold the strings. Is there any like things that you don't think about as a sax player that this is going to be the first hurdle to get by? This is the toughest thing on beginners, that sort of thing.
I think trying to just make it feel like natural.
Yeah, because you're not used to holding this big thing in front of you.
Yeah,
right?
You get this weird metal thing in your mouth with wood, and it's kind of awkward to hold at first. But I think just trying to like remind yourself to, just be natural and let it just kind of
that makes sense to me. Is it a weird thing to? Well, you said you kind of, usually if you're taking a long break, you'll just kind of walk off stage. But if you're holding a saxophone and you're not playing, is it kind of an odd thing to be carrying?
No, you can make you can make it look cool.
You can. How do you make it look cool?
Well, step one is you're gonna unhook your neck strap because you don't want it to kind of dangle in there.
Okay.
Then you can kind of like grab it. You can't really see that. I guess they can't see the grabbing.
I can picture it exactly. I know exactly.
Yeah, and it's like a side hold kind of thing.
A side hold.
That's like a cool way to hold it.
You could do like a 10 steps of like making a guitar holding look cool.
Yeah.
I mean a saxophone holding look cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting. But the hook, all of it has to start with the strap.
Yeah, you gotta get it. You gotta get it free.
That's gotta be one of the first things you learn. Probably not, right?
It's really just about looking cool.
That's what the whole gig is. What is the favorite all-time crowd you've ever played? What's the show that like you'll never forget? That's what we're in it for. That sort of thing.
I think I don't really have one.
Really?
Yeah.
They're all that good?
Yeah, they're all pretty good.
They're all that good?
Yeah.
Do you take something, I mean, I asked you earlier about bad moments in shows, and I can imagine, I know why you said that was a bad moment, but even that show, I bet you had a good moment. Do you take something from every show that's like kind of unique?
Yeah. I think I enjoy, like I said, the unknown, like driving to the gig.
Yeah.
You don't know how it's going to go. You don't know what the audience is going to be like.
It's a great thing about a live show, right?
It's like, like coming here, I knew nothing. I didn't
even know me.
Yeah, I just pulled up and, but I was before I came in, I sat in my car for a minute and I was like, this is going to be great,
There you go.
The less you know, the more you just got to rely on yourself.
Because it could have been a train wreck.
Yeah, but it's still would have been
optimistic,
good.
Right?
Yeah. It's your show, not mine.
That's true. That's true. Again, we're joined here by Jonathan Bousquet. A couple more minutes here, and the show's flying by. On a Thursday in Newburyport, an ugly Thursday. You getting through this weather okay? You ready? Florida. You've spent a little time in Florida. You're probably a little spoiled. It's not
it's
nice
all
here.
good.
You like the seasons?
Yeah.
I like the seasons. I bet the season.
It's a season for everything.
Look at that. That's right. That's excellent segue. Let's show the album again. A season for everything. Happy with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. It came out a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Really?
It exceeded expectations in that regard, and then it also, I think the hardest thing about creating stuff is creating stuff. It's like really seeing it through and not bailing out halfway through. So it was a great learning process of figuring out how to.
Is that tough stamina in like the recording studio? Is that a real deal? You got to bring the energy and you got to be sharp. And
the actual recording of it is the fun. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
It is. You definitely, especially in that one, we weren't doing any overdubs. This last record that we did, we could be a little bit more liberal with our performance because we knew that we could go back and kind of fix things a little bit. But it's really all the other stuff.
How big are like engineers on these things? Because I can imagine with like jazz music, if you're just like a little bit, if something doesn't just quite mix right. I mean, maybe everybody plays all right in their room, but just I don't know, something wasn't right. How important is the production of these things?
I think it's less the technical stuff and more like the people you're working with, the vibe.
Most of the problems are the people you're working with.
Yeah. It's like we all get the same gear.
Yeah.
But no, Jake's one of the best, so he just kind of set us up and stayed out of the way, and sometimes it's the best thing you can do.
One of the rapid fire questions I didn't get to. What was the best concert you ever been to?
Best concert I've ever been to? I went and saw Gwen Stefani and the Black Eyed Peas.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Didn't see that one coming either.
It's the second time I mentioned that show today.
Yeah, that is true. Black Eyed Peas, no longer the Black Eyed Peas, I don't think.
I don't know. I'm not up on my Black Eyed Peas, but
Where was that show?
That was at the TD Garden.
Okay. So like in the early 2000s?
Yeah. Just got an extra ticket on a school night.
On a school night.
And I figured I'd go check it out, and I was pleasantly surprised.
What a second life Gwen Stefani has had. She's all over the place.
Yeah, I think if I'm going to put my opinion out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm more of a No Doubt Gwen Stefani kind of guy.
Well, yeah. So you saw her post No Doubt.
I saw her, yes.
Yeah. I never saw No Doubt. I was little. I remember growing up to like middle school. When I was in middle school, I think, when No Doubt was big. Like I remember her being all over the TV, but I wasn't like quite going to shows yet. I would have went to see No Doubt.
Tragic Kingdom still hits.
Yes. They were a really good band.
It's a great record.
They were. Did she write most of their stuff? I don't even know.
I think it was her and the guitar player.
Yeah, and they were like dating for a while, right? And that didn't end well.
Don't date in the band.
Is that? Yeah, it's another thing we've learned.
It's on the 10 Commandments.
I thought you were going to tell me a story about that one. No pressure on that one.
No,
okay, good.
No stories there.
You stick to that one. All right. Yeah, I believe there's
I wasn't in Fleetwood Mac, so.
Oh, rumors. How amazing is that? Making an album with all that stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like one of the biggest albums of all time, I think it's safe to say. Don't Speak, I believe, is about that relationship, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, here we go. We're getting really to the...
yeah.
Sometimes this stuff happens.
I think Gwen and Stevie Nicks should sit down and have a little chat.
I bet they have.
They probably have a lot to catch up on.
I bet they have had that chat. I was always curious about the Stevie Nicks Tom Petty thing.
I don't think I know about that.
She was just a diehard fan, and she said if he offered to have me join the Heartbreakers, I would have done it in a second.
Wow.
And he never offered because he was like, "This is a guy's band." Yeah, it's like what that. If you could picture Tom Petty saying it, this is a guy's band.
No dating in the band.
Yeah, maybe that's all it was. Maybe he goes, "This is a bad idea." Stevie Nicks, obviously beautiful back in the she was like the heartthrob, I think. But is that just a guy term? No. Whatever. Stevie Nicks.
She had the witch vibe going too.
She still kind of does. She does that like twirl thing in concert. You know, last time I saw Fleetwood Mac was I'll never forget this show because it was marathon bombings, and it was like the first thing they had in the city was at the Garden, and I remember I was working in the newsroom in Boston, so I was like had been up for like 2 days straight. We're all busy like going around the clock, and the Tsarnaev brothers are still on the run. They're running around town. They thought the history shows they thought they had gone to New York City at this point, but they had this show while these guys still hadn't been caught yet. Crazy, like to think about that they had the shitty city shut down for 3 days, And then we're going to have this Fleetwood Mac show is going on. Bruins games have been canceled. Everything in this building, the garden's been canceled.
The Mac stops for no one.
Fleetwood played. And security was stepped up. I remember that being a little bit unusual. There was definitely a different feel to it all. But nothing like crazy. I mean, it was locked in. It was kind of like a normal night despite being completely not normal. And then I remember going back home, exhausted after the show, get in bed. I was living in Brighton at the time. Get in bed around 12:30. Head hits the pillow, and my now wife turns on the TV, and that was the shooting at MIT, the tragic loss of Sean Collier. And she goes, "I bet it was them." And I'm like, I'm half asleep. Wake up the next morning, it turned out that was the case. And I was like, wow, can you believe that they had a concert on that night when this was all going around the city? It's crazy. Still enough people don't talk about that. I would like to know who.
We need answers.
We need answers. And an excellent show.
I believe that.
They were unbelievable.
Yeah.
Kind of just captured they didn't really dwell on what was going on. They mentioned it obviously a few times, but they were just on their game. Not sure if they're always on their game like they were that night, but they were great. I don't think I could see them without Lindsey Buckingham, which is now the current case.
Yeah, I don't think it would be Fleetwood Mac.
I know. Whatever. I'll probably go see them when they come around again. Jonathan Bousquet. This has been fun. Anything you'd like to promote? Any schedules? Any shows?
I'll be down at Brick and Ash tomorrow night with the Donctet.
Oh, okay. What's that show like usually?
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun. So that's a Friday night gig at Brick and Ash. That's another cool place.
Valentine's show.
It is Valentine's Day.
We're going to be playing all your favorite slow jams.
Not that I forgot that.
No.
I didn't forget that. That's tomorrow. That's what that is.
I already did all my Valentine's duties.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Yeah, brought my fiance some flowers last night.
Fiance. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's her name?
Megan.
Hello, Megan.
Yeah. So
how long engaged?
Since August. So.
You guys set a date?
No, we're working on it.
Sorry, no pressure.
Yeah.
Listen, Uncle Drew. Well, that's exciting. Those are good times.
Yeah.
I remember those.
It's a good thing.
It's a lot of fun. Don't get too stressed as you go up to the wedding.
Yeah.
You strike me as a guy who probably maybe prepared but not too stressed.
Yeah.
Is that a good read by me?
Good. I might put that on my next business card. Prepared but not too stressed.
Do you have any business card right now?
Yeah.
Wow, musician with a business card.
Right here.
My goodness. Oh, thank you.
There's the handoff.
Here, can I show it? Is it public knowledge? There you go. That's nice. Nice business card. That's one of the. This is a smaller business card.
Yeah, I went with a different shape.
Is this like a skinny tie? This is like a fashionable here.
I think it's just so it fits nice in your hand.
Sounds like Jonathan.com.
Yeah, sounds
People
like.
Find your music there.
Yeah, you can find a link to Season for Everything. I just put out a duo album with guitar player where we did 5 tracks of 100% improv.
Oh, cool.
No parameters, just went in and hit play or record. You can find that there. Sounds like Jonathan.com.
All right.
That's the Duo Impromptu Volume 1.
What'd you guys do? You just sit down for like an hour?
Yeah, I think it was about that. We just kind of went went for it.
All right. That's exciting. So sounds like Jonathan.com. Very good. Go check that out. Valentine's Day, you doing dinner?
No, I got my Valentine's Day out of. Well, we'll do lunch.
Celebrated.
We'll do lunch
Because you're playing at night.
Yeah, we'll do lunch.
It'd be a lot to do dinner before a gig.
Yeah, I pulled the Valentine's flowers a couple of days before, so it's like
Look at you.
It doesn't just have to be Valentine's Day.
Over prepared. You could.
It's a fake holiday anyway.
It's kind of a Hallmark holiday, right?
Yeah.
I tried that line once though.
Yeah, how'd it work?
Not well.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
it went pretty good for me.
I don't know. I feel like I think I got away with it, but I feel like there was a little bit of like, sure, we won't celebrate. Okay. So now we can.
Not even something a couple days before.
No, where we do like dinner? We're gonna do dinner tonight, actually.
Yeah. Where are you going?
We're going to the Hardcover.
Oh, where's
Peabody.
That? Oh, nice.
Right on Route 1, actually.
Nice.
You've probably driven by it a million times. It's I don't know, like Putnam Pantry in Danvers.
Yeah.
It's a little ways up the road there.
So what you go to on the menu when you're going out? What are you looking for the seafood or?
Yeah, actually,
nice steak.
Speaking of my wife, she's a vegan now.
Oh, so am I.
Yeah, are you? No kidding.
Not now, but I have been.
You have been, yeah.
Well, no, I still am.
Still am.
Yeah.
Okay. Vegan. All right. Yeah. So I am. She does it. I'm watching all the documentaries now and all this stuff. People probably get bored of me saying this. It's been a while since I mentioned it though. So I do I try not to do the red meat because that's really the environment bad one, you know. And animal cruelty, that's a thing too. It all kind of plays a role. I would love to do what she does. She doesn't do any of it.
It's the best.
I know, and she feels great too. Joaquin Phoenix, see that speech the other night at the Oscars?
Yeah,
it's amazing how much heat he's taken for that.
Oh, is he?
Oh, he is. Yeah, I thought it was great.
He put it right out there.
I did too. I mean, he use that moment to not do anything about yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was pretty. And then it's like people are like getting on him. Don't tell me what to do.
It's all true.
I'll use. I know it is. That they say that dairy. Now I'm gonna get it. They say the dairy is like worse than.
I think I would agree with that. I think the dairy, the cheese, and the milk is the worst.
I know, and it's funny because there's so many great vegan products out there too.
Yeah.
That the one thing they haven't like mastered is cheese. I find.
Yeah, they're still working on that one.
Yeah.
But you can
definitely. And but I mean, like burger. I don't even eat. I used to love a good burger back in the day, and like I loved all the new ones. They got the Beyond and the what's the other one? The
Impossible.
Yes, yeah, like both of those. Like I found it look really good.
We try to stay away from some of the fake meats.
Do you? Yeah, I don't usually.
But
like
they are delicious.
That's the only one I'll do is the burgers.
Yeah.
But I would rather just have the natural stuff than usually when you try to do the fake thing, it can be a little weird. But no, it's great.
So what are you going to get tonight? What do you think? The fish?
Back to your original question. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe you'll live in the moment.
I'll live in the moment. I might do like I don't know. I mean, pasta's always good.
Good pasta dish.
Good pasta dish is always good. We'll see where we go. I haven't been there in a while. My parents like that place a lot. It used to be their place, so they're actually joining us. They're going out with this is a big group tonight for Valentine's Day. This is not a romantic one. My sister's coming out and the whole deal. So
that would be fun.
Her boyfriend, so the whole gang. So we'll see.
I like that.
I'll text you. I'll let you know what I ended up with in the menu.
Send me a picture.
Very good. Well, John, this was fun, man. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Thanks for having me.
We'll have to get you back on here with one of your groups, whoever, when you get on tour or whatever. And we'll play some live stuff if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Do that in the spring maybe when you get the little tour kicked off.
Sounds great.
Sounds like a plan, man. Jonathan Bousquet. Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for having me. You also.
Make this rain stop or whatever it is out there. Jonathan Bousquet, is very sweet of him to come on. Enjoyed talking with him. Lily Dissette producing today. Lily, you have a good weekend as well. Thank you so much for everything. Tyler Neufeld in there. Sarah Hayden, wherever you are. I hear you're doing yoga somewhere away. Hello. And enjoy your weekend as well. We'll be back next Tuesday. Got a big week. We're actually booked for like the next couple weeks, so that's kind of unusual for me. I don't book too far in advance, but we're all booked up, so I'm happy about that. We'll see you next week, Tuesday, same time, same place, 3 p.m. My name is Drew Mohlland. This has been Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio. Bye-bye.